Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Archery Watch Along. I'm Greg White, your host, as we are ready to check out some finals matches on Compound Saturday from Antalya, Turkey. And we're really happy that you joined us. Don't forget, you can go onto the X platform, go to World Archery, and send us any questions or comments that you have, and maybe we'll put them up down there in the graphic. And of course, this broadcast is going to be for a little while. We have about 10 minutes or so till the start of the matches. And then we are going to get about 10 minutes into the match, and we're going to transition to Archery Plus. QR code is down there on the right part of your screen if you have not subscribed just yet. But I'm not the only one who's going to be yakking about archery as we're chilling out, watching these events, watching these matches. Let's welcome in our guests. First up, we have Lucille Sullivan, and we also have Rio Wild. So hello, team. What's up?
All good here. I'm excited to watch some archery.
Good morning.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you?
Really, really excited. Yeah, trust me, this is going to be a bit of a rhythm thing, like, between the three of us and getting used to it. There's a little bit of delay. So, Lucy, what part of the world are you in watching this thing from?
So I'm from a little island. It's between France and England, and it's part of Great Britain. It's called Jersey. So for any of you Americans that have heard of New Jersey, we are the original.
That is true. That is true. And of course, if you're from New York City, you know what New Jersey is. It's a trash heap. No, just kidding. Rio, where are you in the world? So wait, Lucy, what time is it for you then right now?
So for me, it is 11:50 in the morning.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
Almost afternoon.
Yeah. So Rio, where are you sitting in the world and what time is it?
I'm in good old the U.S. in Idaho, and it is 4:50 in the morning for me.
Oh, poor guy. You didn't know that, Lucy?
No, Rio. Well done.
Yeah. See how nice he is? So look, if you follow World Archery or if you're new, Lucy is a shooter and also works for World Archery on the commentating side of things. Rio Wild, I don't even know how you explain it. I mean, he's the GOAT. It's how many gold medals do you have in World Archery since it began? Rio,
I
you think?
I have no idea.
20 something. I don't know. A lot of wins, a lot of team wins, a lot of individual wins. Won Vegas, which is one of the biggest shoots. If you don't know about the Vegas shoot, it's not a World Archery event. It's kind of a combined NFAA, which is the United States event, and World Archery event. Last year, it brought out, 4,000 shooters to Vegas. It's a tournament that happens, an indoor tournament, which happens, in late January, sometimes early February. It's now moving to March at some point, I believe, beginning of March. But you won. You're tied for all time Vegas wins, correct?
Yeah, with a modern compound. Yep.
Yeah, with a modern compound bow. Anyway, so lucky enough for us, we're all going to sit here and watch archery. So let's talk about it a little bit. Lucy, you've been obviously keeping an eye on World Archery and what's been going on. So how has the season been to watch for you, and where you been with archery?
Yes. So it's been really cool. I got an amazing opportunity last year to follow all of the World Cups and the finals. So I got to do all the social media for them and make reels and interview all the winners. It was just incredible. And then this year I was in Shanghai doing all of the updates from Shanghai. So it was really good to see the start of the season. But obviously this has been one of the most important ones because you've got the Olympics coming up. Obviously, it doesn't make a difference for compound archers, but this is the World Cup that everyone was sort of waiting for, which is, it's been really cool.
Yeah, because what you're talking about is this was the final opportunity, right, for the last slots available for Olympic competition. And that, of course, is what we're going to see tomorrow with Recurve Sunday, right? Yeah. You can see bottom right next to Rio, you can see that we have kind of an exclusive shot here on the World Cup Watchalong. Those are athletes warming up. So, Rio, what's your state of mind for these two archers right now as they're getting ready to come up on stage and all that kind of stuff? Wait, they're on the
Well, there's
beach,
usually
right?
two part.
Hmm.
Yeah, and there's two parts there. The hard part is like you're trying to work on your shot, you're trying to do that, but you're also trying to figure out how different it's going to be on the venue versus where you're practicing. You know, I mean, because you want to walk out there in that first arrow. I mean, some of these matches have come down to 1 point. So that first arrow can be just as important as anything. So you're like, is it going to be as windy over there? Are the crowds blocking it? You know, you've got the stands. I've got all that. Just a lot of different aspects to go through your mind at this point. You're just trying to figure out what's going to be your best thought process to walk from over there into the venue.
And
Have you
it's
been?
quite a long
Have you
walk.
been there, Lucy?
Yeah,
Turkey?
so last year, so they've put the practice field it's shooting the same way as the actual competition field. So you have to walk sort of behind everything, behind the VIP bit, and then all the way around, and then this bit here, the practice is right by the sea, which is amazing. But yeah, it's so hot there this week. Like, I know all of the archers have been really struggling. You can just see all their Instagrams have just been them with wet towels on, and yeah, you can see the heat coming off of the trophy there. But yeah, the good thing about that practice field is it is facing the same direction as the competition field,
Which is good, especially when you're dealing with wind. And you could see that shot that we had if you looked up above, looking at all the trees and the way they're blowing. I mean, Rio, when you jump onto a field, right? Obviously, you have your qualifying field, which is completely different from this field. Are you like in observation mode, meaning when you come up to the field, instead of just looking 50 meters down at the target, are you looking all around to kind of see what the wind is doing, what's blowing, how it's swirling, especially at a venue like this where it's kind of closed off on the sides and then it opens up halfway down the field?
Not, I mean, I guess a little bit when you first start, but the biggest part, like, that we'll see an advantage today is like Elena has shot the team event. So you know, and you've seen a little bit of what's going on out there. I don't think people really realize the advantage that is because, I mean, I've known on one side from target 1 to target 2, there'll be angles where the wind comes through. And so you've learned and seen that off the team event. So it's a huge part to understand that. I mean, even though it's later in the day, the winds are usually pretty similar. You have all those that are just a little bit of an advantage. And so having shot that, she does have a little bit of an advantage, I think.
Okay.
And that was a nice
All right,
part
well,
being from the U.S. We usually had a good enough team. We did compete in a lot of teams.
yeah, you did compete in a lot of teams. Hey, if you're just joining us on YouTube, I'm Greg White. Upper left-hand corner is Lucy O'Sullivan. Right there is Real Wild, the GOAT of archery. Now, kind of, I guess, not really retired, but transitioning your career, Rio. You were the coach for the Korean national team, compound team last year, back home now. And you're transitioning into some 3D archery, significantly different from what we're shooting here. And we'll have an opportunity to talk about that. But here at the Watch Along Party, it's provided for you on YouTube at the moment for you to check it out. But once these matches get going, which we should see athletes and coaches coming on the field of play here in the next 2.5 minutes, that QR code right-hand part of your screen, we're going to transition you over to Archery Plus. Subscription service, you know, it's got tons of stuff. Video on demand, these live events. It's so worth it if you're into archery. So get signed up, get a subscription, and continue to watch us as we continue on. Now, what's been interesting from qualification and something we don't normally see, especially with the women's category coming up here, is our number 1 qualifier through our number 5 qualifier hasn't even made it into the final 4. So these are single round elimination matches, folks. If you're new to archery, that happen just one-on-one. Winner stays, loser goes home. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our initial matches that are going to pair up a couple of athletes. Whoever wins will be in the gold medal match. Whoever loses is going to be in the bronze medal match. So we have 4 athletes that are going to be coming out over the course of time. And we were ripping through it, Lucy, and it's like the highest placed seed, you know, in the match that we're going to see was the number 6 qualifier, which was who's Ella Gibson, who obviously shoots for Great Britain, right? GBR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toya Ellison was our number 9 seed qualifier. And if you look at it and you're like, Mary Marita Paz from Estonia was our 13th seed in qualification. And then we have Elisa Roner from Italy, and Roner was your 15th seed qualifier. So what do you think about that, Lucy?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but the thing is, it doesn't actually matter what seed you are. Like, all of these women are so impressive. Like, just to shoot the scores they're getting, and Turkey is notoriously windy, so sometimes people are just dealt a bad ranking round. Like, they might not rank as high as they wanted. They might have just got an 8 or something, or a 9. You know, God forbid, too many 9s. But the level of these archers are so good that you know, it doesn't matter where they rank. It's what matters is these matches. You know, how are they going to fare on this finals field, and are they going to win this next match to get into the gold medal or the bronze?
I mean, really, Rio, you're looking at it, and these 4 are household names if you follow archery at all. And then the you know, the lowest seed is 15. So Lucy's got it kind of nailed, huh? And sometimes luck, right? I mean, luck in your seed, luck in your shot. I mean, there's so much that can happen.
Especially with the wind in Turkey. I mean, just like I said to you earlier when we were talking about it, qualification could have been no wind at all, and they could have qualified at different spots. Then you get to the eliminations, the winds can change. I mean, heck, from one match to the next on that field up there where they do the eliminations and stuff can be different. And so that's a big thing there. You know, I mean, just the different avenues you have in Turkey, because, I mean, I've shot there a million times, and one day can be amazing, and one day can be, I mean, we can look back at the World Championships of Belek. It was the windiest tournament I ever saw. They actually changed the rules for the team event.
Now, there
Went
was a
from
tournament
2
one time,
targets.
Rio. There was a tournament. Yeah, tell me about the changes. What did they do?
What they did was they went from 2 targets to 1 in the team event, and went from 2 minutes to 4, so that it wasn't, people weren't missing the entire bell and stuck the target right in the middle. I mean, it was that bad.
You know, Lucy, there was a tournament a number of years ago. It was the USA Archery National Tournament, and we were in Indiana, and the wind was blowing. I don't know. I'm not going to say how fast because I don't know kilometers per hour, and I know we have an international audience. But you had Rio, like the top shooters, the Steve Andersons, all the top shooters in the U.S., and it looked like there was a bunch of Joads shooting that were brand new because it was so windy. You had all these top shooters in the world that were behind the bale looking for arrows, like it was
Yeah.
bare bow. Not me. I
And
never
And
do you
I
know
was
what?
one of them.
Yeah. And it's been like that. You know, there's so many competitions around the world that are like that. You know, we had that in Lilleshall last year. One of my arrows broke because it was so windy, and they cancelled the whole competition. And it's been the same, you know, over here in Turkey. I know I've seen some people that have tried to look for their arrows behind the target. Yeah, amazing. It's how they deal with it, and I don't just think it's the wind in Turkey. It's the pressure here. You know, this is the final World Cup leg of the season, so I think the pressure is, you know, it's a big thing. You want your place in the final, right?
Yep. All right, so let's see. Our first match is going to be Toya Ellison, who's left part of your screen, and then Mary Marita Paz from Estonia. I mean, Estonia has really jumped on the archery scene the last couple of years. It's been super impressive to watch those athletes just really. It's probably been, maybe 4 years they showed up, and then they just started performing, and it's been really, really nice to see. And of course, it's really important when you have a country the size of Estonia and you have some success on the world stage. It you know, just keeps like driving people, more athletes from that country to be involved or interested in the sport. So it's been really good. I do have a couple arrows here. So more than likely what you're going to see here, especially in this wind, is going to be a micro diameter arrow here. This, in this particular case, this is an Easton X10 Pro Tour, which some of the compound shooters, if not all of them, will be shooting this. And I brought the indoor arrow just to give you a bit of a contrasting size as to what we shoot indoor versus what we shoot outdoor. Now, Rio, talk a little bit about the wind and the weight of these arrows, because generally indoor we don't really care about a weight of an arrow, but outdoor we do, and it's important, isn't it? Like, do you want the lightest arrow you can
Oh,
possibly get, especially in the wind?
well, no, you want the heaviest arrow but smallest diameter. You want to use physics so that it gets that way out, so that the wind doesn't blow and drift it as much. If you have less surface area, but it's heavier, it'll go through the wind easier.
So obviously, I mean, compared to last year, the way that the practice range is kind of situated for both these archers, especially with it being breezy to start out with some tens, is pretty impressive.
And both of them hit about the same spot, so.
And so I mean, Mary, she was in the finals in Shanghai, so she's already, and their team is amazing. Like the Estonian team, the compound girls, they're always in a final. So she's already been on the field like so many times this year already, like on a finals field. But Toya, like this is her return. You know, she's not been at a World Cup for ages, and she comes back. She's top four, and yeah, it's really good to see her on a finals. But I wonder if that's going to affect her performance today, because it is the first one that she's done in a while. I mean, Ria, like I've not been on many finals fields, not as an individual, but definitely as a team. But Rio, I mean, have you ever had a break and then you come back and it's different, or how's that feel for you?
It adds a little extra pressure. It's a little different because you start analyzing everything you do. You start wondering if I'm doing something right or wrong, because your feel is a little different. And so it's one of those things that can be a little challenging, for sure.
Yeah.
Because out on that finals field, you can question a lot of things, and while you're shooting, it can be a lot of different things. But when you're just coming back, it's a lot of like trying to understand what's going on and where you're at, and just a lot of like putting your feet in and trying to get stable is a challenge itself.
Yeah.
And
And I saw
Lucy,
it.
the way Toya has to practice. So in April in the U.S., we shoot Arizona Cup, and her father-in-law lives in Phoenix, and so obviously part of the reason why Toya has taken all this time off is because she started a family, 2 kids now, and all that. And when the last couple years, I would go a couple days early to Phoenix and go to Mel's house, and you can shoot up to 70 meters in his yard, and she would like shoot, like maybe 40 arrows, then have to go take care of the kid, then come back out, shoot another 40, take care of the kid, put him down for a nap, and then maybe get like a full 72 arrow round in. And so it's been like, it's impressive how quick she's come back,
Yeah.
considering the 2 kids and stuff. But even practicing with her, if she's not competing in the Arizona Cup, it's a good shot, is she's intense and she's very fierce. She's a very fierce competitor for sure. Right? Like Rio's laughing because we know, like, it's really funny when you sit there, like we'll have Chris Schaff, Mike Schlusser, Rio, myself, and she'll come out and she'll be like, all right, are we doing a shoot off? Like, she's the first one to bring it up sometimes. It's like, let's compete. Talking about Toya Ellison, folks. And it's really fun to watch. She's very, very competitive.
Very, very. That's an understatement, Greg. She
I know.
is super competitive and super
She's not Michael
strong.
Jordan.
Like,
She's not Michael Jordan competitive. Like, I've never heard her say I'm going to bet money, but it's kind of it gets to that level.
Yep. Yes, for
But
sure.
I mean, how amazing! A mum of 2, and she's been away from the sport. She's come back, and to get on this finals field and compete like this is like hero for all women that are thinking of having kids.
Yeah. All right. So the winner of this match goes to the gold medal. And for Lucy, Rio, and I, we're getting ready to transition you from this YouTube channel. And if you're already watching us on Archery Plus, we appreciate it. So when you see that QR code coming up, we're going to be transitioning. Make sure that you log on to Archery Plus as we continue our Compound Saturday. Who's going to be in the gold medal match? Who's going to be shooting for bronze? And who's going to be the champ for Turkey?